Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Drac122, and I decided to record something, a little different. Last time I saw my little cousin, she was playing a dating sim. Weird, but she's into the Asian stuff, so I was just all like, okay, what if I'm gonna let you be you? I didn't say nothing, I just let her go on her business, do all that stuff over there. And then I thought, hey, great idea. Put up a dating sim on my YouTube channel. Dumb, but hey, you may never know. Alright, let's just get this started. Alright, start. What's going on? Ooh, this is free. The light breezes cause naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer to deciduous trees to provide beautiful green canopy, far out the sight of the teachers to follow the students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. Ooh, okay. I breathe into my cupid hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Oh, I guess we're playing Hizao. Whoever Hizao is. Ah, yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as the clip, I don't even know what that word is. Don't even get at me at that. I'm sure a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. Huh. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing the stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like its time has slowed to a crawl. My gosh, I'm reading like a ratchet. The rusting of a dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting a quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Oh ho ho! Hi, Hiso. You came. Okay. Who's this? A hesitating, barely audible question. Where's the button? Oh. However, I recognize the owner that Diatni voiced whatever. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. That's hit me somewhere. Wow. Awatnako. Okay. What type of name is that? Alright. Let's call her Iwa. Yeah, let's just give her a Hawaiian type name. Iwa. I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours. Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to keep up with a good line that was that was the result. Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Okay. I know date. Oh. My heart is pounding as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Alright. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise in the music to my ears. Awanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if I supported some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. I see where this is going, bruh. Hey! All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Hmm. My throat, my throat is tight. I doubt it could even force a word out if I tried. Oh, I'm sorry. You see, I wanted to know if you would go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. He saw. I reached out to try the message in my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. He saw. What happened? My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hiso! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, canopy, bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako runs towards me. All these fade black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwa screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Wow. So, I don't even know who we are. This is Katawa Shoujo. You guys know what shoujo is. If you don't know what anime is, shame on you. 1. 2. Yeah? Oh. Oh no, this is so unprofessional. They just coming in. Wow. I cannot believe the quality. Holy crap. Oh wow. This is free. Who knew? Okay, I guess I should say something while this is all going on. Okay. That's stuff that you put in your arm for blood. And that's a clock. That's light on the clock. That's like going away from the clock. No, this has some seriously good quality for a free game. Katawa Shoujo. I checked it out. I was just searching for any free good dating sims, and this is what came. Oh, it's been 4 months since my heart attack. Holy crap. In that whole time, I can probably count the many times left in the hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms of my situation. 4 months is pretty long. Oh, Arthium, whatever that is. A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. That can be fatal. Apparently, I had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is it really a miracle? I guessed it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had two hermahags. I don't even what. I already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was the first admitted, I felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my roommate in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. In the end, the first month, only my parents came on a regular basis. Iwa was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us and on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I ideally observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking it's some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there's at least some hope. At some point, he stopped watching TV. I don't know why. He just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of spasm for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more like a storeroom for books, I began working on my way through it, a small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder and distinguished from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. I felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I paused and realized that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of non-balance set for myself. The pages of my book started to feel sharp and burning hot, with the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's a ritual the head cardiologist has. He has his time sorting his papers, setting them aside if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks at me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hiso. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and some precautions, you should be fine. We'll have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. It takes it from his hand and look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? I absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. There are all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's too futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life. Every day? I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, the medications are always being developed, so I would be surprised to see if the list fades over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if you hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hazel. Listen to the doctor what he has to say. You tell him not to go back to his old school. What the hell is that? What? Calm down? The way he says it tells him he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever the concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand what your education and paramount. However, I don't think it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parent about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Huh? Disabled? What am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and only a few minutes from highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independent? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise the fact. If it was that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's the only. If you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out and had a look at a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to the other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. I'm tired of reading. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Whoa, somebody's mad. Whoa, you should be excited at the chance to go back to your school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. And many of the graduates from the school have gone to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of the colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back for their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame the lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean state isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if a special school, it's something. It's fresh. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. That was the longest introduction I've ever done in my life. Huh.